All right, welcome back here to the channel. We got a new thing here for the test subject today. Also, just wanted to let everybody know I am a dealer with CV Fabrication. So we got their intake here for a 2020 F-150 and one of their V2 Titan intercoolers that we're going to install, because at this point, when we're out here in the 90-degree temperatures that is Spokane and making a hit on the quarter mile, it's hitting 120 plus at the top end. So I'm fighting boost versus timing to keep this thing going. It's run 13.0 at 106 miles an hour so far, full-size truck. Still some nice street radial tires from what we bought from the dealership on it. So we'll get this all completed up and we'll go from there. So we're going to start up here on the airbox, take that off, this off down here. And then we'll work on getting where the pipes all go up here. We got a few other things here we'll go through, get this all off of here, which is a bolt here, and I believe there's two down in there, and then you got that lovely thing to disconnect as well. So we'll get through all that and show you where we're at. All right, so I'm starting to get this part. Some idiot turned that clamp completely on this one. Ford engineers, brilliant. You know, put the freaking worm gear clamp back on the backside after all the hoses so you can't get to it. But basically, you're gonna pull this one here, this one right here. The two tubes are gonna come up on the CV, and then there's a crossover piece that comes in between them. And then both filters sit down in here on the mount. And then I have the box to cover this up, so you still keep your cold air intake and everything else. So this is still the suction for here, trying to pull in the cold air. And then as soon as we get done with this, we'll go up, we'll get the bumper off of it, or get the intercooler out, and we'll get the bumper off of it to put the new one in. We've got to pull those air dams out from underneath there. We'll just plug away, get this done. Hopefully it only takes about an hour or so, and then we'll get out to the racetrack tonight. See what the time improvement is. He said 13.0 at 105. All right, got that out of there after we had all sorts of fun with that clamp that was on the backside. Thank you, Ford engineers, for the intelligence of putting that on the backside and not the front side. So on this piece here, you need to reuse this. You're gonna turn it quarter turn, and then it will just pull out of here. If I can do it one-handed. Seems to be a trick, one-handed. All right, I'm gonna require two hands to get this out of here. I got it to turn, but I cannot get it to actually pull out. Being gentle, quarter turn, wiggle it, and it came out. Just the O-ring was kind of being a pain in my rear. So then if you come over here to your pipes, I forget which one has it. I think it's on this one here. So there's your pipe. This is going to go back in there. I would put a little bit of lube on this before you ram the O-ring down in there, and then you'll just give it the quarter turn to kind of seat it in there the same way as you did on the other one. You can see down in there, it's got a little tab that you're going to line up, and then this will turn to go around it. Quick note, as you come through this, you'll notice there is a little tab there. So you want to turn this so it orients. So when you turn it, if I can do this one-handed, that it actually latches on that, right? So it actually stops it from turning again and coming back out of there. So you just pull up on that tab and then you can twist it back around. But that's where you want that oriented at, so it actually locks it in. All right, so there you see how we kind of got that in there. You do have to pop off this wiring harness over on these side. There's two clips, one there, one back there. If you don't get rid of those, the box doesn't sit right. These take a little bit of effort to pry them up over here, but once they're on there, they're on there. This is kind of where it's supposed to sit at, right? You got your filter housings there. I'm gonna put the filters on next. Whatever reason they gave us really long freaking ones of these, I'm gonna trim these off, make these clamps a little bit cleaner. Everything turned where you can get to it. Everything's kind of here and around on the different pipe routing. Try to make sure none of this is in anything. So as much as we can kind of shove it over, we'll get it shoved, and we'll put the rest of it on here in the box. So FYI, that's how these actually route. These will actually come out here and clamp on to the backside. Hold these here. It does require a little bit of muscle once you get them up there. Don't be afraid to push on them a bit to get it to move, and then they all kind of come together. I'm not sure that I need the extension harness. The IAT was right there on this one, so everything looks good so far. All right, and there we have it. I'm going to put the cover on next. I did just take the zip tie. If you loop it through there, you can hold the wire back so it's not flopping around everywhere over here. Just kind of tie it back. I clipped off those a little bit, shave them down so they're not so long. Everything's tightened up. You can see it's all back in here. We have everything pretty much in the spot that we want it. So we're going to go ahead and fire it up, move on to the next part, and check the intercooler. And there we be, all on there, clamps on, tightened down, all the connections. I did disconnect both of these. You just squeeze back here on the back side of this and push it out. Then you can push down on this and pull up and it'll come off of there. That'll allow me to get to that screw that they had brilliantly put on the back side of that clamp design. So anyway, we got it together. We'll get the intake part is done. Now we're going to do the intercooler. Get that done, knocked out really quick, and then we'll be headed for the track. All right, as you can see, got a little further along than I meant to before I stopped. This plug-in connects from here. You got a little snap clip on that one. You've got two simple hose clamp worm gear, if I can speak. It's hot, I'm dying. And you pull the bumper off. So you pop the cover here, cover there. There's two bolts on that side, one on the other. You can see they're still kind of just hanging out back here now. You'll have to probably get two people to finagle these back on here when I go to put it back on. I did this on my own with a pole jack. It was less than ideal, but I did this so I can get to this bolt back here and right here before we can get the active air dam off of here so we can pull these shutters out of here because these have to go with the new intercooler. All right, that was a bitch, but it's off here now. This can just be zip tied up here out of the way. That way it'll still turn and do things. And hopefully not throw a check engine light, otherwise I'll have to go into FORScan. Turn it off, which we can do. Again, there's our bumper bolts. This is gonna be fun trying to get this up here with just me here. But I'm just gonna zip tie this back over here, get that up out of the way, and we will zip tie this, back up over here to keep this up out of the way. And then this piece here plugs back into the blow-off valve in the back. Sorry for the video quality, tired, hot, it's 90 degrees, and I have 30 minutes to get to the track, no problem. All right, and we got it all back on there. A little help from the pole jack, impact, got this all together. I got to put these back on here. You can see the giant intercooler hanging out, everything tucked back up. I'm gonna get it down on the ground, fire it up, see if it runs still. Got a couple of adjustments to make to the tune, take advantage of the intercooler, so I'm gonna do that really fast. Puts me 98 in, I'm out of here. All right, and we are flashing our map on here. I got a slight change. We got it on E40 again. Up some of my limits because I should be able to run some more boost out the back now. That's gonna stay a lot cooler. So we'll see how this goes at the track tonight. We'll get some video and end this out, hopefully with a pass somewhere in the 12s. Would love to see an 11. I just don't know if this thing's got enough to do it. So we'll see how this goes. Appears to be working. Our intercooler temps are staying quite a bit cooler. It's currently 92 degrees. And in our poles, the temperatures are going down in the intercooler as we increase. You know, we're starting up fairly high and then dropping down to 112. So the 112 is actually at the top of the pole as we get moving. Making 22.5 pounds of boost. We're on our E40 tune, running some pretty good timing out the back. So everything seems to be working pretty well right now. And it also has the cool whooshy sound now from the intake, if you can hear it. Let me turn off my fans, I'm dying. Hear the little woo. So cool new sounds with the new intake on there. Need to actually put a full blow-off valve on it. That's on my list of things. I just didn't spend the extra $400 right now, especially since the intercooler, or sorry, not the intercooler, but the downpipes that I ordered that were not on back order when I initially placed the order now show as being back ordered. So we'll see if they get back to me. Kind of complained about that with everything on the timing. So we'll get the closeout video. We'll be on the track. Sorry, I think I said that before. And then I decided to drive it and get it home and heard the little whooshy sound and figured I'd share that. So cool new noises. That and this thing from a standstill, just it obliterates the tires in two-wheel drive. So much fun.